Hey guys, what's going on? It's Ash here coming at you today in Clash Royale. You asked for it, so I have brought it back. The Broken Podcast balance changes are on the horizon, and I'm joined by SK. SK, what's up, bro?
What's up, Ash? Really happy to be back on the podcast.
You sound very energetic as always. Thank you so much for joining. We love you, SK. KFC, what's up, bro? How you doing?
Hey.
Hey. And Shane. What's up, Shane?
What's going on, dude? Happy to be here. Excited for the Broken Podcast to be back.
Me too. We're going to talk about all the broken cards inside the game, what we're looking to see for balance changes. We're going to give our opinions. We chose 2 cards each, and we want you guys, my loyal viewers, to tear us apart in the comments why we're so misinformed and wrong. So let's just jump right into it here, guys. But first, today's video is brought to you by Raid Shadow Legends. Whoa! Happy 3rd birthday! We got the Hydra Clan Boss heads coming out of the presents. Wow, oh, he's a freak. That's a freaky looking Hydra Clan Boss there. Happy 3rd birthday, Raid Shadow Legends. It's been 3 years of me uploading the game as well on my second YouTube channel, Ash Raid Shadow Legends. I have plenty of beginner content for all of you guys starting your raid journey today, and some really awesome free rewards at the end of this advertisement. But I just wanted to say that I do not advertise games that I do not play. In this case, I play and cover the game, so I'll see you over there on my other YouTube channel. So because it's the 3rd anniversary of Raid Shadow Legends, guys, I'm going to give it to you straight. I'm going to give you the 3 best champions in the game, the 3 most wanted champions in Raid Shadow Legends. So number 1 is going to be Chris. Chris the Ageless, the big turtle. He is, in my opinion, the best champion inside Raid Shadow Legends. Look at this dude. He's a monster. He's got Provoke, he's got increased buff duration, he's got AoE decreased speed, he's got one of the coolest passives in the game. Speaking of passives in the game, number 2, drumroll please, is going to be none other than Lydia the Death Siren, the champion that you guys get once you finish all the faction wars inside the game, and she is well worth the time that it takes to unlock her. She has the most unique passive in the game where she denies revival attempts, and then she revives her team instead. She revives your team instead. Insane champion. And then 3rd most wanted champion inside the entire game is going to be an old school champion, but she's still, in my opinion, one of the best champions, obviously, in the game. It's Valkyrie. She's one of the 3 champions inside Raid Shadow Legends with counterattack, and she has the best shield in the game. Now is the time to download. Use the QR code on the screen right now, or use my link and get these awesome rewards. Now, this package is worth over $40, guys. 3 free champions. You get Tiger Soul, you get Romero, who's very, very good. Miser Cord, 10 Magic XP Brews, 10 Force Brews, 10 Spirit Brews. You'll find all those rewards in the inbox way up there in the upper right-hand corner. Go ahead and click on it and claim your rewards, guys. Let's party hard and celebrate Raid Shadow Legends' 3rd birthday. Guys, thank you so much for Raid Shadow Legends for sponsoring today's video. SK, why don't you go ahead and go first, man? What do you have for card balances that you want to see out of this balance change?
All right, so I'm thinking that a lot of people have been noticing champions being OP, but I'm trying to look at some non-champion cards. And so the first one I'm going to talk about is the Mortar, which has been very dominant, actually, like secretly dominant in the last few months, especially in competitive, so on the top like echelon of gameplay. And I think it's just for 4 elixir, it just does everything a bit too well. Like, it has so much HP for only 4 elixir, because it's the same lifetime, 30 seconds, as many other buildings. It also is good on offense. And in terms of defense, like, it survives a lightning, it survives a fireball plus log. It's super hard to break through. And for only 4 elixir, a lot of people hate on Expo, but I feel like Mortar is just a more annoying Expo in a way. So I'd like to see it nerfed, and I'd like to see its lifetime nerfed by maybe 5 seconds, because we saw with the Expo rework where they reduced the lifetime, it's much more significant than HP in terms of how long it lasts. So I think lifetime would be a better nerf than HP.
All right, so the Mortar nerf. Well, go ahead, Shane.
Yeah, I can get with that. I think the Mortar's been secretly like flying under the radar for being super strong in Clash Royale. Like, it can be used as a win condition when you need it to be. It can also be used on defense to pull enemy tanks, destroy support behind the tanks, high health, like you said before, and it has a crazy high win rate. So I can definitely see a nerf for the Mortar being justified.
It does have a crazy high win rate. I just see that as well. It's like number 1 right now, last 3 days in challenges. KFC, what do you say?
Wait, Mortar's number 1 win rate in challenges.
Yeah, bro. That's it. Mortar.
That's
best
crazy,
game, right?
yeah, that's crazy.
Do you
it's
agree?
Like a win condition.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah? You want to see a nerf too?
Yeah.
I want a quick question around the horn, because SK mentioned something that it's like it's destroying in competitive. Do you guys think, just a quick yes or no, do you guys think that Clash Royale should nerf buff balance based on competitive or based on ladder primarily? Or
I
that's
think
not a yes
both.
or no, is it?
I'm going to say yes or no to that, bro.
Yes or
That's
no,
such a
go.
quick question.
Okay,
I
based
think
on, yeah, both.
Yeah, I think both because like if a card's a problem like only in competitive, like it still needs to be addressed. But if it's like primarily a problem in like mid ladder, but not necessarily competitive, then
Okay.
it probably should still be touched in some way just to kind of make the vast majority of players happier.
Okay. Okay. I kind of agree. If a card's like super out of control in challenges, then I think it does need to be addressed. Just in esports alone, I would say no, but I think that oftentimes grand challenges especially reflects, competitive play more often than not. Okay, cool. So we all agree. I kind of agree with more nerf too. I mean, it's hard to argue against it, right? At this point, except for the use rates are kind of low, which leads me to believe that it's like really good players playing Mortar too, which also explains the high win rate. But I would just go soft on the nerf, like a very slight nerf. All right, SK, what do you have?
All right, so my next card's going to be Wizard, and I think a lot of players might hate me for this, but I think like when you look at the Wizard, compare it to its two brothers, the Ice Wizard, Electro Wizard, both of them are just really fun to use. They have enter the arena abilities going all crazy all over the map, and Wizard's just alone, just gets placed down, dies to Fireball Log, and then it's just gone. So I think that Wizard could see some similar love as its brothers, and it could get a small enter the arena ability. Would not touch its stats or anything, so it wouldn't be like, oh, it suddenly kills everything, or its 4 elixir still kills and splashes. But I'd just like to see in line with the other wizards. So maybe like this idea I've seen quite a few times, like a small jet of fire, either above or around it, just some like spawn damage coming in, just to make it a bit more spicy.
Well, it's going to be a popular one with the viewers, SK. What do you guys think about the wizard enter the arena ability?
I reckon it should ride a rocket as it comes into the arena. just nukes everything on the map. That's actually a good idea.
Yeah.
That's actually a good idea. It'd probably make it, people will probably think it will be stronger than it is, but like just like killing a few things as it spawns in, it's still going to be like the same card, but it's going to be, because it's like 5 elixir. The other ones are cheaper, and they both have spawn abilities. So
Yeah.
it doesn't really make
And
sense
the thing with the
as
spawn
well.
ability with the wizard too is like it's 5 elixir, so you're not going to want to use it in a position where it can just get destroyed when you spawn it in. Like if a prince is charging you, you're not going to spawn it in, or if he's got like a giant dark prince push coming in, you're not going to spawn it on top of everything. It's only going to be used in specific scenarios where there's like swarm coming in. So I could definitely get with that for sure.
Yeah, dude, I agree.
It's perpetually one of the lowest like win rate cards in the entire game, like forever.
It is. It really is.
Yeah.
It is.
Maybe like I was gonna say because of the low arenas, maybe slightly nerf something like 1% or something, just to like make it feel like it's maybe more of a mental thing. Yeah, I don't know.
I agree
Seems
with
like
that.
a good change.
Yeah, maybe like a very slight, I don't know, DPS nerf or something, and then or hit speed nerf, like very, very like a tenth of a second, and then replace it with enter the arena. Because the other two wizards, I agree, the other two wizards have it. Why not regular wizard, right? And yeah, I kind of I can't believe we all agree on the wizard buff. That's a pretty good idea. All right, SK, you got 2 thumbs up, man. Let's see what the viewers think. You guys let us know. SK wants a mortar nerf and a wizard buff. Guys, before we go on to KFC next, I want to ask you just a random question, because I don't think that anybody's going to suggest, I might be wrong, but I don't think anybody's going to talk about...
Are you subscribed to the channel yet? No.
Well, hey, you know what? Are you subscribed to my guests? Because no one really wants to come on anymore, the Broken, because they're all bigger than me now, these other YouTubers. So we need to incentivize them to keep coming on the channel. So subscribe to all their channels. They'll be linked in the show notes below, guys. I did make that up, but definitely give them some love. But what I was going to ask is the mirror and pump. I don't know if any of you guys have the mirror and pump, but are you guys cool with this weird mirror pump kind of semi-meta? And I especially want to get SK's thoughts on the pump expo deck. Is that like out of control, or is it totally cool?
Right. So, okay, about mirror, I think it's generally found its spot. It's kind of niche, but still strong. I don't think it needs to be touched. I think it's just when you combine it with something like the pump, then it gets to be really strong, and I think pump is definitely the bigger issue. So I think pump... only Earthquake gets a positive trade against it. Everything else is quite literally a negative trade. Every other spell in the game. I think that's just not really a healthy attribute to have, where you're locked into only running this one card. That's not even that good anymore. Like, Earthquake was nerfed, and now it's very rarely seen, only to counter Pump, really. So I think Pump could get a slight nerf, and I think the Expo Pump deck is super fun, but it's definitely playing on the 3-card cycle, just abusing it to its limit with the Queen, because there's no big spells in it. Like, you're just spamming pumps and overwhelming. So I think it's definitely just mainly the pump.
Okay. Anybody else
I
have
can
any
agree with
strong
that for
opinions?
sure.
Yeah.
No, I can agree with that. I think Mirror, like you said, is fine. It's a fun niche card. Pump is definitely broken. And then I think the 3 cards champion cycle is a discussion for another day, but it's kind of like it enables some certain strategies to kind of just be completely broken with the 3-card cycle. But yeah, I think Pump is the major problem that could definitely see a small nerf.
Yeah. I don't really want to see Pump nerfed, but I do agree that some of those Pump decks are out of that 3-card cycle deck. That's I feel like that deck is just out of control. It's almost
like, Pump is fine
exploitive
now.
Yeah.
I think Pump is fine now, but like, give it like 6 more months and we might be like, you know what, nerf Pump now.
Yeah,
right?
that's true. That's true. All right, KFC, what do you have?
Oh, you want my card?
Yeah.
I reckon.
Unless you have any strong feelings on Pump.
No.
Okay.
I reckon Goblin Drill revert the speed buff it got, where it moves quicker now, so that it's back to how it was, because it's already really strong and it doesn't need the extra buff. It's good enough how it is.
That was a hidden
so you may
buff,
as well
right?
Get rid of it. Yeah.
Yep.
So the speed increase of the drill. I was honestly, I was so late to the game in terms of realizing that happened. And I'm like, why is drill all of a sudden like the best card in the game or whatever, or one of the best cards in the game? So they speeded
Not
it up.
just because of the speed, but yeah, it definitely makes it a bit stronger, which it doesn't need.
Drill's a funny card though, because it's like you never see it on mid ladder. Like you only ever see it being played by like good players.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely, but so just, you're saying revert it, it will still be good for good players, and I can get on board with that. What about you guys?
It's not a big change.
SK?
Yeah, I mean, my personal opinion is that, like, it's not even a proper change. It was quite literally a bug. When Mighty Miner came into the game, it happened, like, inadvertently, so yeah, I'd like to see it go. I mean, mid-ladder, it's not used much, but like we said, we should consider all aspects, like, not only mid-ladder as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
Do you guys like the pump the drill just as a card?
I think it's fine.
Alright.
Like overall as a card.
It's fun, but
Sounds
very
like
strong.
It sounds like you don't like it, Ash.
Nah, I actually don't mind it. I'm watching it here on a replay I have in the background too. It's like I don't mind it, but it's like it's kind of annoying. But like whatever, a lot of the cards in the game are annoying. But I don't. Yeah, I agree with that, Nerf. Okay, what was your other card for us?
Probably with the Skeleton King, remove, I don't know, maybe one skeleton from its ability, because a lot of the time they do this, they just take out like Ladute or whatever his name is from the skeleton army and skeletons, and it's enough to scare people off from using it. So with Skeleton King being kind of cracked right now, probably a good idea just to take one.
Yeah, dude. Skeleton King's
One away.
busted.
Yeah.
It's like the most
It
busted
is.
card in the game right now. It's crazy.
So
Yeah.
you think this? You think the Skeleton King is by far the strongest champion? Do you all agree on that?
Probably.
I would go Golden Knight.
Same.
You think
But-
Golden Knight?
Maybe it's just the decks that we
Yeah,
play,
but-
But I agree.
Yeah. Both are up there, though, for sure. They're, like, kind of in the same spot.
Yeah, what do you guys,
Comparable.
my viewers, my loyal, amazing viewers, what do you guys think of the champions? How would you like power index them? I would go Golden Knight, Skeleton King, but I would put Queen close to Skeleton King because I'm a big Queen fan still, but I think I'm in the minority there. What about you guys?
No, I think Skeleton King first, and then Golden Knight, and then Queen, like
Yeah.
further down.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then Mighty Miner way at the bottom.
Yeah.
Okay. So we
Yeah.
can all get
I
on board
think-
with that. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I think Skeleton King though, like I want to say, like I think one skeleton would not be enough. Like KFC said, I would think like it needs like three less skeletons or like a tighter spawn for the radius the way it spawns, so that you can your spells can hit more skeletons when you're trying to defend it.
Ooh, that's a
It's
good
crazy.
idea.
You could have like a Skeleton King at the bridge, and he activates the ability, and you got like skeletons spawning on your like behind your tower and stuff. It's crazy.
Yeah, do
Yeah, it's
any of
hard
you
to
guys
control.
do any of you guys play Skeleton King like in your main deck, or do you just switch it up? Or
I mean, I don't play it in
Nah.
the main deck, but I play it fairly often, and it's pretty busted. Like
Yeah.
you just drop a skeleton army down, and it's instantly charged up. And you go graveyard, and even if they have splash damage, and even if they have like spells to counter it, like they can't counter all of your swarm. And then you have like a million other skeletons spawning up for 2 elixir. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, like just playing against like the good, like Skeleton King and Graveyard players and the baity, using it really to bait stuff and overwhelm you. It just feels OP sometimes.
Yeah, definitely. What do you guys, last question before we move to Shane now. And it looks like we all agree on everything so far. This is very uninteresting so far, guys. You got to disagree, at least for the video, just for the content.
We gotta have Night Owl here with his crazy
I know, right?
ideas.
Ram Rider nerfs every
Yeah.
video. We did invite Night Owl, but he couldn't make it last second. Night Owl. Guys, guess. $1 million is on the line here. guess how many champions are released throughout the rest of the year 2022? Do they release just one?
I think
Yeah.
one more.
Or
One
I
is a
say
safe
4.
bet.
4?
Four.
Yeah,
You said 4.
I said 4.
Okay.
Crazy,
Do you think they're gonna give it like 2016 style, a batch of new cards?
Okay.
There's
Four
no
champions.
way. No, yeah,
way,
I'm
dude.
with it. 4. Let's
One.
believe.
Dude, can I just say, like, I want to see some more new non-champion cards, man.
Right?
It's
I
been
agree
like
with that. I agree
been
with
so
that.
long. I want to see like cards again.
Yeah.
I feel like these balances are eventually we just keep talking about the same thing over and over again. When it's like if you had new cards coming in, it would just really shake up the meta more so that kind of readjust everything's power balance instead of just like going back and forth with the same cards over and over. You know?
Yeah, there's like two schools of thought. I guess we talked about this before in the past. There's two schools of thought of like, we have enough cards in this game, so
Yeah.
like stop adding more of the same redundant cards that are uninteresting. And then the other school of thought is that like, let's freshen up the game and add some freaking cards because you add like one a year now. Is the last card is it Mother Witch? Am I forgetting something? Drill?
I think it was Goblin Drill. Last
Drill.
card was Goblin Drill.
Good God.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was like quite literally a year ago, wasn't it?
That's
Yeah, it was like a year ago in
insane.
spring, 2021.
That
It's
is
crazy.
insane. So how do they add interesting new cards though? That's the question, Like
They're doing that, aren't they? I mean, they've done those like super challenges a little bit, but
Yeah.
it's still like the same cards they've already got. They just need new mechanics, like
Yeah.
not just like building on old stuff, like just new
Yeah.
stuff,
New
Yeah.
ideas.
yeah. Would you guys
What if
rather
they
see-
added? Here's a crazy idea for y'all right now. What if they added like a secret item you can use in battle that would convert one troop to the super troop version of that card once in battle? It was like a gadget from Brawl Stars in battle. You just drop it down, and your Lava Hound becomes Super Lava Hound. Now you just power it up.
Bro, I like
Is that
it.
crazy?
man.
Champion though.
No, I like it.
Well, you can't power up champions, obviously, because they're champions. But like,
I like
What do you
stuff
think?
like that, man. I like it. I like
like
taking
change up
risks and
gameplay?
changing things, man.
Yeah.
I like it, but
I don't know,
got-
it's a crazy idea.
it's crazy, but like, it's just a video game. Try out a crazy idea. It's not
Yeah,
gonna
exactly.
change. The world's not gonna
You-
end,
You power up Rocket, and then you get what, like 20 instead.
Yeah, you just you get 4 rockets spawn out from one, and just power it up.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
There's like 2,000 damage to the tower instantly.
yeah,
Big
it's just
tower
about to hit,
falls.
and then it just clones to 100.
Yeah. Yeah, it's weird when we
I still
talk
would
about
love that.
Yeah. All right, so Shane, you're up, man. Unless you guys have any other thoughts on adding new cards to the game or lack thereof.
Nope. Okay,
No.
cool. So, first card I'm going to suggest a nerf is for a card that I think's been flung under the radar again for being secretly overpowered, and that is the Royal Ghost. I think it's perpetually has like a crazy high use rate, crazy high win rate. It applies so much pressure for a 3 elixir cost card that you have to have a response for it. Like even if it's 1 health and goes invisible, that's 2 shots to your tower. So I think it's secretly been an overpowered card for a while now, and I want to see a slight change for the Royal Ghost. What I want to see is the Royal Ghost take us a little bit longer before going invisible again, or when he starts his attack animation, he leaves invisibility instead of when his first attack lands. So that's kind of my thoughts with the Royal Ghost.
Okay, guys, what do you think of this Royal Ghost nerf?
I don't know. I don't think he needs a nerf. I feel like he's just strong in a lot of decks, or some decks that are strong. Shane's had a bad down ladder, and he's clearly just taking it out on the Royal Ghost. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like
Shane's watching from his bed, right? You're on from your
Yeah,
bed right now. You just woke up, right?
Dude, so we suggested nerfing the Golden Knight, but the Royal Ghost has like the exact same win rate as the Golden Knight, and a very, very similar usage rate. Like it's up by like 1% from the Golden Knight.
I haven't even said the
Wait.
Golden Knight yet, but way to go, Shane. You're stealing my
Wait,
answers, bro. You're stealing my
Hold
cards. But
the Royal Ghost has the same win rate as the Golden Knight, really,
Yes.
with like the same use rate.
It's 14% versus 16%. So, pretty similar.
That's crazy because the Golden Knight, is this challenges or ladder?
Challenges.
What is the
You-
use
you-
rate?
Oh,
The use-
You always use
okay.
challenge. You always have to use challenge for stats because the ladder, like everything's 50%
Yeah,
on
exactly.
ladder.
Because people don't
Aw,
have the champion
man.
unlocked. So I was going to
Yeah.
say, the use rate's like way lower. So
How
Yeah.
dare
Yeah.
you use that example and ruin our arguments, Shane?
Yeah.
I kind of agree with KFC though. Like I don't feel like I feel like the Royal Ghost is a great card, but he doesn't feel like broken or in need of a massive nerf to me, So I guess I'm kind of riding the fence a little bit. What about you,
Okay,
SK?
SK, tiebreaker.
I mean, I can honestly see Shane's side
Yes, there we
because
go.
I see it in so many decks now. Like you see it in Royal Giant, you see it in any bridge spam at all. You see it in 3M, which has made a resurgence because of pump, and you even see it in Goblin Drill decks now, like just because of insane pressure. So, I mean, in terms of stats, I think it's pretty balanced. But if you do nerf, like you make it so it goes on invisible when the attack animation starts, that's a really cool idea. Because when it's like on 1 HP and it attacks the tower, it actually gets 2 hits instead of 1.
Yeah.
So that would actually change that one interaction, which I've experienced a lot. So I can get behind that.
I just think there's a lot of cards that are like kind of borderline, may need a nerf or buff, but with a change up in decks and cards and meta, they're not even going to feel like slightly broken anymore. And I feel like it may feel like a little bit better than it should be, but I don't think it needs.
So you think it's only strong because like bridge spam is kind of good right now because of Golden Knight, right? Is that what you're kind of just saying?
Well, and Goblin Drill, Wall Breakers, like all these spammy decks. It just
so it's more so a byproduct
well.
of the way the meta is right
and
now.
It fits in like 3M and stuff and all these types of decks, even like RG. It's just good in the decks that are good.
It's definitely better than Knight, you know, and Knight is hurting right now,
yeah.
you know. So I feel like, and when Mighty Miner is better than Knight too. So like, I feel like Knight is you know the victim of all of this Royal Ghost, Mighty Miner, Golden Knight, blah blah blah. You know, I don't know. You're kind of talking me into it, but I kind of agree. I'm kind of siding with KFC. It's like, just because the card's good doesn't mean it needs a nerf, but that is, the win rates are pretty insane too. At the same time.
So we'll move on to my next card. We overall agree with the Royal Ghost needing a nerf.
Well, I don't think we all agree. The audience is going to be the deciding factor on this one. All right, what's your second card?
So the next card is a rework for the Firecracker, and I cannot think of a better card that's poised for needing a rework than the Firecracker. I think the Firecracker is one of the most hated or annoying cards to face in the entire game, with the way it kind of pushes itself back when it's attacking. Like if you don't have an arrows or a response for the Firecracker, they just stack up and it's super annoying to face. But also at the same time, when you use a Firecracker, it's so slow, and like the Firecracker that shoots is so slow that it misses its target half the time, and it just stares at like if you have a skeleton army coming at your bridge or your tower, it just like stares at them, doesn't do anything. You can't use it against graveyard to counter a graveyard because it's so slow. So it's like annoying to use, but it's also annoying for the person facing it. And I think like those things together make a solid argument for a card needing to be redesigned. If it's like that annoying for everyone to use. So I would suggest either a faster attack speed or a faster projectile travel time, but also a much smaller pushback on the Firecracker, or just like get rid of the pushback, feature altogether and just have kind of be more of a common card kind of princess, right? Like a poor man's princess, right?
Is it still used in that Hog Earthquake deck?
I think the Hog Earthquake deck is kind of dead, though.
Yeah, it's kind of dead.
They all switched to Queen anyways, pretty much.
Yeah.
And besides that was the only deck that really ever used Firecracker in the longest time, was that one Hog Tesla Firecracker.
It was in like deck. RG and stuff, though. There were a couple decks.
Yeah. A couple like Royal Hog decks too. But
and it's perpetually like the win rate and use rate is like always like one of the lowest in the entire game.
I was surprised at how low. It's 41% win rate right now. That's pretty insane.
In GCs right now, it's like 29%.
Oh my god. Okay. Even worse.
3% usage. Yeah, 3% usage.
But she's so annoying, to your point. It's like,
that's what I mean.
Never like going against her, I never like going against her.
If you have a card that never wins games, but is also simultaneously super annoying to face, that's like a perfect argument for like, this card needs to be redesigned from the ground up.
But you know what the thing is like there is, with that said, like I agree with all your points, Shane, except for that there's like a super clear delineation between the Firecracker, the Dark Goblin, and the Princess. Like these long-range 3 elixir cards. With the knockback. If you take that away, then it becomes a little bit too, it's a princess, basically.
Yeah. How do you improve it without making it even more annoying? And the only way you make it less annoying is by getting rid of that knockback.
What do you guys feel like?
What do you think, 555?
I mean, I think, when you have a card that's super annoying but still bad, it needs some kind of change, and I think no one really wants to see it buffed straight up. Yeah. So I could get behind a rework. Like, I wouldn't remove the pushback because, again, like Ash said, it's the only thing differentiating it pretty much. But I would like maybe make it less and then make it faster travel so it misses stuff less and stuff like that. You also have to remember it activates King a lot of the time, right? So that makes it pretty selective in the decks it can be used in. Like, you'll never ever see a Firecracker graveyard or Firecracker minor deck.
It's like it's missing as a strength.
Yeah.
True. That's a good point about the easy King activation as well. I get a crazy idea, guys. What
Okay,
if a
let's hear it.
one-time use on the Firecracker, one-time use, and it shoots a rocket?
I would love
Boom.
it. That's like the super firecracker.
Bro.
Just shoots rockets instead of the firecrackers.
so ridiculous.
Hey, that's one of
The
the 4
bazooka.
champions coming this year.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like half an elixir to use as well.
You know, I would love them to add a game mode where it's just like all the cards that we already know, they just do all crazy things. Like we have no idea what they do. You just go in there and firecrackers are shooting rockets and wizards are landing on rockets and
Yeah, that's like
everything's
the
just
April
rockets.
Fools.
No.
The
All I
April
want to
Fools
see
they
is
did.
3 skeletons spawn in the back mode, returning in 2023 for
Returning.
April Fools.
Yeah, that was a game changer.
Greatest game mode ever made.
What do you guys feel about this one? Masteries, right? I actually asked this in, I forgot who, but one of the community managers was like, that's a great idea. We might do that in the future. But of course, they could have just been yesing me. But masteries, what about we expand that to ultimately you get to add like a special ability, like a gadget or something or whatever. Does that kind of veer too close to the lane of making them too close to champions? But what if you could get some sort of an upgrade, a stat upgrade, an ability upgrade, or something upgrade by hitting the top threshold of mastery on a specific card?
I don't necessarily agree with that idea. I think it just like adds like a time gate to like unlocking an ability. I would love to see like a cosmetic change. Like if you master a card, like it goes in the arena and it's got like a cool skin. I don't know
Wait,
if
but
I agree with.
Why don't you like it?
Why don't I like it?
Takes too
Yeah.
long.
I
Yeah,
don't know.
Why
I
don't
think
you
just-
like? Yeah. Go ahead.
I was just say I find the masters a bit annoying to complete right now. They got great rewards, but like every battle is spamming me with a stupid mastery pop up on my screen.
Well, I agree there, but that's besides the point.
Yeah, I know. I don't know. I just feel like it would like imagine you get into the battle and you like or get into like a battle and you're like facing people that have all these cards that are all like it adds a time
Special
gate
abilities.
for new players. Like you go in and you're facing people that have been playing for years and have all these cards mastered with all their abilities, and then you're like, oh man, it's gonna take me like 4
Yeah,
years to unlock all these abilities for the cards.
I like the mastery unlocking something though, but I think it should be something that represents you've mastered the card. Like imagine you get like a really cool skin for mastering the card. I know that
Yeah,
you
that's
know
what I
they've
meant. Like if
mastered
you
it.
get, it just
Yeah,
like,
I
looks
thought you
cooler,
said
right?
an ability. Yeah, I thought you said an ability because ability would be like I don't know, but the
That was
skin
like
would
what
be
I
sick.
want an
Ash's
ability.
like,
Yeah,
idea
yeah,
was.
yeah.
Ash's idea was like you unlock an actual ability, like a power up in the arena if you master the card.
Yeah, I'm a weird dude because I actually like grinding and stuff like that and like having
Making
like
your
an
card
ultimate
stronger.
goal. But I agree.
I
I'm
feel
sure
like
it'd be
the best get
unpopular.
better than.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
it adds like a gap between like the players that've been playing for a while and new players.
True.
It's like
yeah.
another level gap issue.
But
in
I
a way.
guess at the same time though, it's also something that you can actually achieve by grinding out versus just random like getting from chest.
I'd
Like,
sign
if you
off
got
on
it-
a skin at least.
Yeah,
with
the skin would be
something, you know?
sick.
Something, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, okay, so Firecracker rework. I think we all kind of agree. I think Shane kind of talked us into it. I guess. Anybody disagree with that?
Nope.
I'm cool with it. Okay, cool. Firecracker rework. There we go. I just want all my viewers to hate me today. I'm trying to come up with as many bad ideas as I possibly can. So, in that theme, I'm gonna go with a buff to the Electro Giant.
Ooh, how
Yeah,
dare
you
so,
know,
my
I
goodness.
think that the E-Giant is, the rework just wasn't it. The 7 Elixir
Yeah.
rework, you know?
Yeah.
The card, it kind of sucks unless you have like the perfect matchup with no buildings and, you know, no whatever. It's weird though. I'm looking at the win and use rates too, and I was just, P.E.K.K.A is really bad too. I almost want to go P.E.K.K.A buff too, like a tandem, because I wanted to go my other card. I have too many ideas.
Too many ideas.
Let's stick with the E-Giant. I think that like it's super annoying, but for me, the correct nerf was just a very small, moderate nerf to the reflect damage, or the damage that it throws back on the tower. That's ridiculous. But the HP and the 7 Elixir, to me, it just made the card worse, and the win and the use rates definitely back that up in a big way. It's really abysmal right now.
I could agree with that for sure. I think the E-Giant is just trash right now. It dies so easily. It's got so low health, and it still has the longest pull distance of all the tanks.
Yeah.
So you can pull it to the other side of the arena with a building super easily, and then one skeleton can destroy it in like 3 smacks because it's got so low health. So it's I don't know why it costs 7 elixir when it's got 2 HP. You know?
Yeah, it feels like there's so many ways you could do it. You can move it down to 6 elixir and maybe tweak the stats a little bit to make that a little bit a soft nerf there as well. Or you could bring it back to 8 and change the reflect damage or the pull distance. I don't know what the answer is, but it feels like the card is very underwhelming right now for 7 elixir.
I think just more HP. There's more health. Just give it a slight HP buff, or
HP.
make the pull distance the same as the other tanks.
What about you guys? SK and KFC have been quiet here on the Electro Giant. Do you agree? Disagree?
I don't know.
Master KFC has some wisdom to share.
I don't know, man.
It's
What do
him
you
and the
think,
Elixir
Five?
Golem. Those are the two worst tanks according to the stats.
To the stats, yeah.
Yeah, I just know a lot of people think it's really hard to stop anyway, and like lower or mid ladder.
But it's not even that hard to stop. Like it can be frustrating in certain, like if you're
It's
running
like the
an
Mega
all-star
Knight
game.
though.
Yeah.
It's like Mega Knight. Yeah.
But then should then with that argument, should it just stay a dead card then if it's annoying to face on mid ladder? Or
No.
like what?
I'm just trying to think of how to buff it without annoying everyone.
I
don't
think
know.
that's
What
the
do you
way,
think?
right? You give it more HP, make it more of a tank, put it back to freaking 8 Elixir, and just, to me, there's just that reflect damage. Like, you get that big fella, when he was 8 Elixir, when he was good and annoying, you get him to the tower and it's just like automatic buy tower. Like, it's
The
just,
tower destroys itself, right?
the tower
just kills
destroys itself. And that feels just
Bad. Yeah,
bad, you know?
Yeah,
And-
so what are you saying? Put it up to 8 Elixir or no?
yeah. Like put it back to 8 Elixir and then reduce the counterattack
reflect
damage.
and give him more HP or something, you know?
Yeah, maybe. Make it more like a golem then.
Yeah. Because right now, like, I don't know. Give me a Goblin Giant over Electro Giant, you know? SK, what do you think?
Yeah, I think after the rework, like they wanted to appeal to some people, saying it's too hard to stop, but then now it's just at a weird point where it's 7 Elixir, like caught between Elixir ranges of tanks like 6 and 8, and it just doesn't do any jobs at all. Like, so I think definitely put it back to 8, give it its HP back. And I guess like just maybe I would slightly reduce the zap damage, maybe so it doesn't change any interactions like against Swarm, but just so it does less damage against towers, so it's less oppressive in that way.
Do you reckon that they just add in like a modifier that it just does reduce damage to towers with the counterattack, like the spells, or no?
Yeah, I could see that, or it could just do a bit less without not killing Swarm, so like it's worse against like any other card as well, but still kills Swarm just barely if they could find that perfect number.
All right. So it seems like you all agree with me. Viewers,
Yep.
let us have it. Let us have it. Or KFC was kind of on the fence, I guess. I think he agreed. You agreed. You just didn't know how
I agree.
to fix the card. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So we all agree. What do you guys think? Electro Giant, you're dying to have him back in the meta, right? All right. Let us know in the comments. Lightning round before I give my last card. Lightning round. Mega Knight is one of the worst win rates in the game right now. Lightning round, small buff to Mega Knight.
Yes,
or no?
revert the previous
Yes.
change.
Yes.
Kind of, yeah.
Dude, we're just trying to
I
piss
don't want to be
everybody
hated
off
for
today.
saying buff Mega Knight.
We're trying to piss everybody off today, baby. Give us thumbs down the video. No one will ever know. Go ahead and guys, slam that thumbs down button. My last card is going to be and I agree with Mega Knight too. I don't know, dude. The card's still annoying to go against.
Mega
Is
Knight,
it
yeah.
to you guys or no? Like, I still think the card's annoying.
I don't find Mega Knight annoying to face at all, but
Okay, it
Yeah,
might
well,
just be
you're a
my deck.
veteran.
You know, I don't know.
I'm a veteran.
Yeah, you're a good player, kind of. Anyway,
Kinda.
that's kind of like
That's
mine.
so awkward.
You're a good player. Well, yeah, I think you're the second best player on the call. Is that accurate?
I was
Do you?
like the third best player. At the
You think you're the third best player on the call?
Yeah,
You want to 1v1 me, bro?
let's go.
Damn.
Let's do this right now. All right. that's
Mid-podcast
another video
battle.
for another day. Okay. My last card is going to be the Golden Knight. Although I was tempted to go with a number of different cards. Before I get to
I think
Golden
Golden
Knight, I almost went Mother Witch here. Mother Witch is the worst legendary by far, right?
Yeah, I think it's pretty bad.
Okay, cool. So buff Mother Witch. All right.
Yeah,
Golden Knight. I think that Golden Knight is, to me, the strongest champion. I know that Skeleton King is what 99% of people say, but in terms of the champion, I hate going against, especially that Golem Golden Knight deck. You know what I'm talking about?
Yep.
It feels like he just jumps on the tower no matter what, you know? I think people are now like learning how to counter him a little bit better, like anticipating or intercepting him, closer to the bridge. But still, some decks are just broken, and Golden Knight always seems to find a way when you think you have the exact proper defense to just RNG his way to your freaking tower and take it down, you know? And that dude, he just swings. He has the longest swing distance known to man to me. Like half the time I feel like, he's not even close to my troop and he's nailing my tower 2 seconds later from 5 feet away or 5 tiles away. I think the card is broken and unpredictable, and that's a bad combination. So I just want to see him. It's weird. I don't know how to do it, but I want him to be a little bit more predictable, maybe? I'm open to any ideas you guys have, but I think we all agree he needs a nerf. No? Yes.
Yeah, we all agree in this nerf. I think so. I agree for sure.
Shane just speaks for everybody. I love it. Okay, cool.
No, I disagree. No, I'm joking.
You can't dispute it.
Okay, so how do we nerf this dude? Because they made him trash, and now he's good again.
I just had a crazy idea. I think one of the major problems with the Golden Knight is so every card in the game has a different size, right? And I don't know how to explain it, but it's basically like a circle.
The weight. Or
like a bowler is a bigger unit with the hitbox versus a like knight or an archer is a smaller unit. And I think that comes into play with the Golden Knight and makes it unpredictable because it has a 6 tile range, but it only dashes up to the front of the hitbox. So if you have like a knight that's kind of like in the middle of your arena, it might dash the knight and then dash onto your tower. But if there was a bowler in that same exact tile, it would only dash onto the bowler and not go to your tower because the bowler has a bigger hitbox. And because people don't know what hitboxes are in the game, it's like a hidden stat. It makes it hard to predict. What if the Golden Knight dashed to the middle of all the hitboxes instead of the edge for every card? And that way it made it a bit more predictable to see like when it was going to go to certain cards or not.
Wow, I feel like I was listening to like Summoning Salt right there. The hitboxes. I don't know. I lost you halfway through, bro.
I don't know if that makes sense. Maybe somebody watching it'll make sense. But like,
you know what?
It feels so unpredictable because certain cards have bigger hitboxes, and then it'll like just randomly not chain onto your tower. But then sometimes it does if it's hitting a smaller unit. You know what I mean? Does anyone know what I mean? Am I just
the thing I'm worried about is that wouldn't that just literally be a buff though? Because right now you're saying it sometimes does, but sometimes doesn't. But that would mean it always does.
Yeah, I think the problem is you tackle the randomness of it first, make it predictable, and then you can balance stats. Like maybe if it was more predictable, it doesn't need a 6 tile range. Maybe you can go back to 5 tile range if it was more predictable. Right? Or the easy answer is just reduce, some of its HP or make its attack.
That's what I was going to ask. Is it what do you first before we get into the Shane, the Shane
crazy
solution?
Yeah.
No, I don't, it might be a good idea. I just lost it. But do you think that it would be easier just to nerf the card, or is it just a fundamental problem with the RNG of the card? Is that really at the crux of it, no matter what?
I think it's more like a fundamental problem. Like even if you nerf the stats a bit, like if it's got less HP or less attack speed, it's still going to feel super random. Like when you use it, you have no idea where it's going to go. When your opponent uses it, you have no idea if it's going to like get to your tower or not. And that'll still be a problem whether you nerf the HP or not.
I don't know. I like that. That makes it fun to me though. That's like why it's one of my favorite cards. If they just like, I know a lot of people don't like the randomness, but there's some level of consistency to it. And I feel like if you take away too much of the randomness, it becomes a bit boring and predictable and easy to counter, and that's a huge nerf. So maybe, I don't know, just like HP or something.
It's really like Graveyard in a way where it's like, there's no, this is the tile that you need to place your card into. There's no like OJ Tech video how to counter a Golden Knight because there's no way to counter it. There's no like,
it's just so random.
It's too random, So like, we already had that in the game with Graveyard, and now this is another card, that we have.
I think what KFC mentioned is a good thought though, is that like the randomness can be fun sometimes when you use it and it dashes across the entire arena and it does this like mad interaction, connects to the tower and the opposite lane destroys it. Like that feels fun when it happens for you. But for the opponent defending it, he's just kind of like sitting there staring at like what the freak just happened. This Golden Knight went from like back of the arena all the way to my tower and destroyed it in like 2 seconds.
Well, sometimes you're playing against somebody using it and it does that to you, and know that even they're like, oh shit, like damn, that happened. You're like, you did not plan that, dude. Like, come on, man. And then the tower's half over and they start BMing you or whatever. You're like, okay, I see it. I see the fun factor, and I'm not like one of those purists that everything needs an exact counter either. But I also feel like the card is just too strong, right now. So I'm not sure what needs to be, changed about it. But I don't want them to turn the card into a trash card again, like it was when they nerfed it last time. So maybe just a very, very slight dash range nerf, like a half a tile instead of 2 tiles. Is that the thing?
Could be, yeah.
Maybe, right. Man, maybe.
I'm just gonna start. Like, what do you SK? What's the proper nerf then?
I mean, I have a lot of
SK.
I have a lot of thoughts on Golden Knight because it basically hard counters my deck. So I really dislike it. So I don't want to be too biased.
Here it comes.
God damn.
But, one idea I had is that, one of the points you guys mentioned was stats, and I think even if it's super random, when it gets to your tower, it has so much HP and it attacks so fast. Like, if you change that, even if it's still random, it would still be less annoying when it connects to your tower. Another thing is that Hey, this part is the expo bias, but if you change the dash damage, because right now it kills a lot of like medium swarm cards, and so that makes it so that it's undefendable a lot of the time. So you could make it not kill everything that's swarmy. So my biased example is archers; they get one shot. But if you make it like only kill skeletons in one shot, but it like doesn't kill archers or goblin gang or something, then it would still dash everywhere, but it just wouldn't clean up the entire defense.
I-
My yeah, go ahead.
Let's go ahead and finish your thought.
Okay.
No,
I guess
no, I'm going.
my final point was if you think about it this way, basically every champion has a counter except Golden Knight, because especially when you pair the Golden Knight with a tornado. That I watched your video, Ash, with Mo, I think, of the Golem Golden Knight deck, and like Golden Knight Nado onto tower is undefendable. You cannot stop it. So Archer Queen dies to a lightning. Skeleton King gets hard countered by Valkyrie. Mighty Miner gets countered by Swarm, except for the bomb killing it. But like Golden Knight just has no counter, so that's another aspect of it that I think just makes it a super strong card and definitely deserving of some kind of nerf.
Yeah. So we all kind of agree it deserves. I think that maybe you said it best at the beginning of your explanation there, SK. It's just like maybe just a very slight DPS nerf when it's in its ability. So that way, when it gets to the tower, as annoying as it is, as unpredictable as it can be, it's just not taking it down, or halfway down,
Like
Yeah,
HP
maybe-
or attack speed.
Maybe kill goblins, but not archers. I don't like that. If it couldn't kill goblins, that would be pretty bad.
Yeah.
It would be, yeah.
All right. Well, I think that we're all in agreement there as well. And that concludes the list of our 8 cards that we really want to see balanced. I want to ask you guys before we go, just an overall grade or thoughts on the meta. I feel like personally, this is the most diverse and weird meta that we've ever had in the game. Maybe I'm, just misremembering another one, but between the champions, between mirrors and pumps, and really every win condition being viable, which is testament to actually, decent balancing in the past, I feel like it's kind of cool. Like there's giant skeletons viable. Like it's really interesting. What about you guys? Like, what do you think overall of the meta right now?
Yeah, it's diverse.
Okay.
Agreed.
I think the meta's pretty healthy and pretty fun right now. You got like pump decks are kind of crazy, like lots of different kind of like fun things that can work right now.
Yeah.
Just like I nerf Skeleton King. It's just kind of annoying.
Overall, champions though, great addition to the game, right? Are we all on the same page? Like, I love champions.
Yeah,
I think they're pretty cool.
Yeah. If people were really you were actually one of the early touters of champions being added to the game, Shane. Like you were calling for him because I remember.
Now look at you, Shane.
Yeah.
Now
Look at me. Look at
And
me.
people hated on you a lot for it, dude. You got a lot of hate for that, didn't you?
That was like
Or am I
6 years ago. We were like 5 years ago. We're like, let's add champions. Everyone's like, no, let's
No,
pay
it'll
to
break
win.
the game. Shane's an idiot.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still an idiot, but
No.
I think the champions are cool. I think they added something fun to the game for sure. I just want to see more players have access to them. I want to see champions become available for like non level 14 kings.
Yeah, dude. I don't understand. Not to go on this rant. It's cool that they're available at tournament level standard, right? That's cool.
Yeah.
But I don't understand why they just didn't make it like Clash of Clans, where like Town Hall 9 you get Archer Queen, Town Hall 10 you get whatever, like they just stagger, but whatever. I guess that's another conversation for another video. We're here over 40 minutes in this one, so we will go ahead and sign off. I want to hear from all you guys what you think about all these changes and what you agree with, what you disagree with, and what we forgot to mention in the video. And a massive shout out. I love you guys. Really appreciate you taking the time to come on the channel, to SK, to KFC, and to Clash with Shane. All their information will be in the show notes below. Shout out to Stutts, Royale, to Glitch Energy, and to Bren Chong, my YouTube partner. Check out their information as well. Guys, thank you so much. And as always, take care, guys.
See ya.
No awkward goodbyes this time.